What is up, you guys? It's Kara here, and I discussed in yesterday's vlog a little bit more about my approach to eating right now and how I'm making food choices. Interestingly enough, I did a little poll on Twitter and asked how people tend to make their food choices, whether it's, based on taste, convenience, or health. And it was actually pretty split between taste and health. So I think it's very common that we quickly choose foods based on what tastes good, right? Like for me, when I'm standing in the kitchen, I'm like, what sounds good, And not necessarily what always sounds the best to eat is what's the healthiest or what provides me the most nutrition or balances out my daily nutrition the best. And I wanted to discuss this because I feel like this is something that's been very helpful for me to think more about as I'm reverse dieting, and I've found it to be very helpful with some of my clients as well when they're struggling and just having those times of struggles. When you start having an off day and that turns into 2 days where you're feeling off, and then 3 days, and then you're like, oh my god, I'm 3 days into a bad cycle, how do I dig myself out of this hole type feeling. So if you know what I'm talking about, this might be helpful for you. And so for me, I've really been trying to make food choices based on what I think is going to fuel my body the best. And no, I'm not doing that every moment, every meal of the day, and I'm not saying you have to, but I want you to think about doing that for the majority of your intake. So let's just say 75% of the day, 75% of your intake, you think about the food before you put it in your mouth. So before you pick up this diet soda, you say to yourself, all right, I'm gonna drink this soda. What are you giving me, diet soda? Are you giving me any good nutrition? There's not really any calories or any carbs. That's great. A little bit of sodium, some carbonation. There is some artificial stuff in here. Not calling you out, diet soda, because I love you. Sorry about that, diet soda. But you get the point. Just taking the time to be mindful, and it sounds so simple, but it's so hard for us to do in the busy world we live in. One of the biggest things I hear is not taking the time to plan, and I'm guilty of it as well. It's taking the time to plan your food and to have good choices available with you when you go somewhere. So if you don't already have that in place, it then becomes that much more challenging to not just grab the quickest, most convenient, most tasty sounding food. So for me, I just suggest, number one, if you can plan and be more prepared, then obviously do that. But number two, just because you're not prepared with food for wherever you go, there's always a way to make a healthier choice. It's not, it's not always going to be the most perfect choice or the healthiest thing, but there's always a way to make better choices. So that control is always within you. It's in your hands, and you have full control over it. You can allow other people to influence you, but at what point are you going to let people not do that? You have to advocate for yourself. If you're someone that knows you need to cut down on your carbohydrates, or you've been eating too much salt, like only you can advocate for that, because no one else cares. Maybe your family cares, maybe they don't, maybe they're sabotagers too. You have to be in charge and aware of what your health goals are, and you have to be realistic about it. So if you want to lose weight, and if you want to quit waking up in the morning feeling like shit, if you want to quit waking up in the morning having a headache or feeling lethargic, you have to take action. You have to do something about it. And for me, it works. It works when I bring it back to health. And so clearly being in a reverse dieting period for me, because I was dieting for so long, even though I love healthy foods and I'm a healthy eater, the struggle becomes real with craving high sugar, high fat foods that I don't even normally like. For me, it just comes along with that imbalance from prepping and dieting so hard and feeling restricted. You start to have these sugar cravings, these, Sometimes it's not even cravings, it's more so portion. Like I'll want to eat a very large portion. That's not healthy for the petite size that I am. So when I'm struggling with that, and maybe not hitting numbers and not hitting macros, the way I go about it is just going back to basics and thinking about what is going to make me feel the best, you know, and assessing what's going to make me feel the best. And maybe I don't even focus on macros for a day or two. Maybe I don't even plug it into MyFitnessPal. Maybe you just focus on, let me start the day tomorrow, or start right now if I've, you know, feeling like I haven't been doing a good job. Let me start right now and make some good choices that I'm going to feel good about come tomorrow morning or come the end of the day. And don't worry about plugging it in, just focus on fueling your body. Like, you don't always have to worry about if you're hitting your macros perfectly, if you're putting them in your tracker. Just don't worry about that. Take a few days off if you feel like you're kind of, you know, falling off the wagon a bit. Just take a few days off and focus on your health and try that out. Just switch gears, forget about starving yourself or what's lowest in carbs or blah blah blah, whatever diet you're following, and just think about the health of the food you're providing your body. It really is kind of a simple concept, but I think in the world of nutrition and everyone having an opinion on nutrition and what the best diet is, I understand it gets very confusing and everyone critiques everyone else for their food choices. But you know your body best. And if you don't, it's time to learn it. Figure out what foods make you feel the best, what fuel you the best, and start paying attention to those things. Don't even worry about the numbers. Focus on what makes you feel good. And so I'm gonna leave you with that. Those are my tips, and I hope you guys enjoy my little mini grocery haul, and I will see you in the next one. Purple bell peppers. I'm not thinking these give any different nutritional value than the other colors, but they look fun. We're gonna try these out. I love bell peppers. So these ones, I've already tried. They're Aloha Peppers, and they taste sweet. They're like a sweet, crunchy pepper. Good to snack on. Good source of vitamin C to keep that immune system good. Grabbing some avocados for heart-healthy fats. And you have to be careful with the ripeness. If you get a bright green one and feel it, it's super hard. That's gonna take a few days before it's good to eat. If you get one that's like black like that and super mushy, then you should eat it the day of. I'm going in between where there's like a little bit of softness, so I should be able to eat it like tomorrow, I would think. Grabbing a bag of baby spinach to throw into smoothie bowls and really anything. Stuffed peppers. I'm gonna get some baby purple potatoes, and I'm honestly not sure if they provide different nutrition other than your standard potato, but I think the flavor is a little bit different on these, a little bit milder of a potato. I could be wrong though, but they just look fun, and sometimes it's fun to have your food look fun because then it's more fun to eat it. Am I right? People always ask what I like to spice or season my food with, and my go-tos are using purple onion with a little garlic. And seriously, it takes flavor to another level. Yeah, you might stink a little bit, but it sure does taste good. I've been loving kiwi lately, so I'm gonna try out these golden kiwis. I've never had them before, but kiwi's so refreshing tasting. And it gives you a good source of a lot of nutrition, a lot of vitamin C in these guys, potassium, all good stuff. Grabbing some 95.5 lean beef for protein, and then I'm grabbing myself some organic tenderloin steaks. I want to make one of these up today as a little treat because I normally don't eat this stuff at home. So I'm grabbing some of these Wegmans Italian style chicken sausage. Macros are not too shabby on those, although they are a bit high in sodium, so you just want to watch how many you eat of those guys. But I'm gonna dress it up and try something different. I encourage you guys to do this as well. I'm picking up some organic sauerkraut, which is not a typical staple for me, but there are tons and tons of health benefits of sauerkraut. You don't have to eat a lot of it to reap the benefits of it, but it's great for your gut health. A lot of known research is done on sauerkraut with its impact on your immune system, so this is, find a way to kind of fit this into your diet. So I'm gonna use this as like a condiment for the sausage to kind of top it with. Grabbing some Silk unsweetened cashew milk. This one's my favorite. I am not someone that follows dairy-free. I just really prefer using this for like shakes and smoothies and anything else I use because it adds a little bit of fat, gives it a creaminess, and I love the flavor of it.